Hello, ZeroEmpires here, bringing you another matchup between Duck and XiAok. Duck playing as Blue,
Ready.
and also as the civilization Britons, and XiAok playing as Koreans in Red. I'm just going to call XiAok Z because it's a bit long-winded to say XiAok every time. So anyway, a little update. I've had a suggestion to start the videos in the Feudal Age, or just before the players are about to advance up to Feudal Age, and I totally agree with this, and that is what I probably will be doing now. Unless, however, something interesting happens in the Dark Age. A little spoiler for what's to come there. So, as I just said, there's obviously going to be something happening in the Dark Age to make it worthwhile watching, and that's what I will be bringing you today. So whilst these players are actually starting, I'm going to ask you a quick question. I want to know your thoughts on this. Age of Empires Online is coming out, and you could class that as Age of Empires 4. However, it's not officially Age of Empires 4 because it's not entitled that. So if Microsoft or Ensemble Studios now were to create a Age of Empires 4, what time period would you want it to be? Now personally, I think that Native America would be a very good time period to have, because the tribes and the Native American tribes in Age of Empires 3 were really, it kind of set the game apart from the main gameplay, and I found it very interesting to see what the tribes actually had to offer, because they were actually very diverse, and they really sort of enhanced the gameplay a lot, being able to set up a trade post with the tribes. And also there were a lot of Native American tribes, a lot more than was actually included in Age of Empires 3. So having that would be quite interesting, and I think it could be rather good. Have the Cherokees against some other tribe. I'm not sure about the actual locations of the tribes. So yeah, give me your thoughts on what you'd like to see if there was an Age of Empires 4. Obviously not including the fact that Age of Empires Online is technically Age of Empires 4. So leave a comment, or something, and let me know, because I'd be interested to see what your thoughts are, because really they've covered most time periods in history, and they've not gone into the future yet, and they've not done present day. Now for me, I don't know, I wouldn't really want to see a present day Age of Empires, because then you're talking more along the lines of Command and Conquer, especially if you go into the future as well, and that's what Command and Conquer did, as well as sort of StarCraft. I guess that's more fantasy. So let me know. I'll have a good look at all of your comments, and I do read every one, because obviously I'm not getting that many at the moment. Hopefully things will change soon though. So anyway, and this game currently, we've got Duck, who is a Chinese player from the CSC clan, and the CSC clan is probably the biggest clan out there. Well, maybe not the biggest, but the most professional, in a sense, most pro. They're made up of fully Chinese players. There is no non-Chinese players in the CSC clan, and they're all really highly ranked invariably on the random map. 1v1 and general leagues, or ladders should I say. XiAok is actually from America. I can't do an American accent, so bad. Yeah, and they're both pretty good players. They are very highly rated on Voobly, on the ladder system. XiAok, I would call him Z, has now scouted Duck. And these players have actually had quite a long string of matches together. I think there was about 8 or 10 when I looked. Duck was pretty good. He won most of the games, I believe, and Z won a couple. Which way is this going to go? We're soon going to find out. So their score's pretty even, as to be expected in the Dark Age. And I might just... actually no, I was going to fast forward things along there, but what's happening here? Duck is going for an early barracks, and this is what I'm talking about in the Dark Age. So, he's going for deer as well to get his early food up very high. And these villagers also on Javelina. I'll just call them boar because, you know, they're the same thing basically. And Duck is able to get a lot of food income through collecting off of deer and boar, as opposed to turkeys who give a lot slower resource. I don't really know how to put it. The villagers gather a lot more slowly from turkeys. They also gather more slowly from berry bushes and farms as they do from deer and boar. And that's why players tend to go for the deer and boar early on. Also because they don't cost anything. Farms costing 60 wood. So Duck getting a barracks up very early. He's not even started to advance to feudal age yet. And what we usually see is players tend to get up to the feudal age and start building their archery range or stable. And they only build their barracks as they start to advance. Z, however, is unaware of this barracks. He's not seen it at all. And Duck is making a little wall off here as well. He's very well protected actually. With this wall off here, there's only 2 entrance points that Z can actually get through. So no doubt Duck will work to block them off as well. However, Duck is creating militia. So he's going for a very, very early aggression. It's not usual to see aggression this early. And just getting a house out there. So temporarily blocked on there for housing. I don't know if Z is actually going to see this still. Looks like he's moving into this area, but if he doesn't go up here, he's still going to be totally unaware of this. I'll have a look. And is he going to see the barracks? No, he's not. So he still doesn't know. Which is good for Duck, because attacking so early on has the element of surprise. Your opponent is not expecting to have any attack coming in, and his woodcutters are extremely exposed here. He's not got any buildings to produce any military at all. Obviously, if all these villagers ganged up on these militia, they'd probably be very easy to kill. However, element of surprise. ZeroEmpires is going to lose at least 1 or 2 villagers here. Or maybe not. He's withdrawing before he can take them out. And the militia is quite a strong unit in the Dark Age, because early on you can get the militia out, however in the feudal age you can get your spearmen out. And spearmen aren't available in the Dark Age, and they're actually weaker than militia. So that's kind of interesting how Microsoft has enabled you to get units out so early that are actually this strong. Really, they're not overly strong when you get up to the Castle Age, however, they are quite strong for a Dark Age unit. In fact, they are the only unit that you can build in the Dark Age. So Duck's trying to get some early harassment in. He's seen that Z is bringing up a barracks here, and he's still trying to pick away at these villagers. However, he's pulling away every time they turn around to attack, but bear in mind that is still slowing down his ability to collect resources. ZeroEmpires now getting into the feudal age, while Duck is still in the Dark Age. But Duck is able to advance, concentrating quite a lot on this over here, and weakening those villagers. But bear in mind, all of these villagers aren't able to gather resources now. At quite a large expense to Duck, however, they are costing 20 gold each, and they do cost 60 food, I believe, or 40 food, and 20 gold. But Duck is getting a gold camp up now, and he's getting 4 villagers on early gold, which is going to enable him to build some more militia. And really, Duck has taken a score lead now, considering he's still in the Dark Age, and he's just spent 500 resources for 500 food on researching the feudal age. He's got a score lead due to harassing these villagers enough so that they come off of work. Although if you're saying that if he gets too close to this town centre, they're going to get picked off extremely easily. Trying to get away before any of them die, and he's got 1 left on 5 health, so 1 more hit and that's going down. So Duck gone for some very, very early aggression there, and it's not really to be expected. It kind of is a cheese tactic. It is very all in, and it's quite a risky move to make, because if you invest heavily in Dark Age units and your opponent manages to get that Feudal Age lead, which they probably will do, if you're not able to harass the economy enough, you're now going to be behind for the rest of the game. ZeroEmpires is now able to get 3 military buildings up, and he's building skirmishers from this archery range here. So if Duck's not quick enough, he could be countered against rather easily, as he's got no real defense whatsoever. He's trying to make a little wall off here with these houses, which is quite a good move to make, walling himself quite nicely inside of his base. And Z just standing on the edge. So Duck's now gone feudal, and he is fairly even in score. They're both pretty even, and that's kind